Hey everybody, this is Senior Sedge and I'm going to do a video on embedded readings. Reading in TPRS CI programs are so important and they are one of the great ways for your learners to acquire the language. And in a way, everything we've done up until this point were just kind of like pre-reading activities. Story creation, TPR, all the different things we've done in class. We're just getting ready for the point where we can do some reading because seeing the words and hearing the words at the same time, just a powerful way to acquire language. So, up until this point in class, we've read some card talk readings, but we haven't really done some more complex reading. So, we created a story together using the verb once and has and gives. And I'll put the timestamp below if you want to see the story creation for this reading. After the story was done, we did a write and discuss where I typed it up on the board. Learners took notes. And I'll also put a timestamp for that part of the YouTube video as well. And now it's after class, and I'm going to show you how I take the write and discuss text. I'm going to make it more simple for our first version, and then I'm going to make it more complex for a second version. So check this out. So here is the text that we did together as a class as a write and discuss. Now I'm going to take this and create an embedded reading. So the text that we created together is going to operate as my second text or my second version of the story. So today I'm going to create a first version, and I'm going to start real basic and just say, so the story was about Carrie, and he wanted a big penguin, and he got one in the Sahara Desert, but it was owned by Chris Bryant, so comes to a violent end here. But I'm going to start with just real basic information for my first version, and I'm going to heavily emphasize the verbs I'm targeting, which in this story is once and has in Spanish. So we're going to start with just Carrie quiere tener algo, which is all text that they've seen before. I'm going to state it negatively so I can get more repetitions. No quiere tener tacos. These are cognates, real easy. He doesn't want to have tacos. Ni quiere tener pizza. Carrie quiere tener un pingüino is what I want to say there. And that needs the double dot there. I'm going to add a couple other details about the story, but I'm just making it really basic. We'll say here, su esposa, Gina, no tiene un pingüino. Entonces, Carrie corre al desierto Sahara y mira un pingüino grande. So this just gives me the real basic part of the story. It doesn't even have the ending. It doesn't have a lot of the details, but it does have quiere tener, quiere tener, quiere tener, quiere tener, tiene, and some other verbs that we're working on. So there's version 1. Version 2 is what we created here the night before or the day before in class. I'm going to take a lot of this text and just flesh it out. But I'm going to start with a change of view here for version 3. So now I'm going to say one day, un día. Oh, I got to put this in Spanish here. Un día, one day, Gina está en su casa mirando la televisión. One day, Gina is in her house. So now I'm doing a change of a point of view. And this is just a way to get more repetitions and just to make your text a little bit more complicated. En este momento, Carrie entra la casa y le dice, Gina, yo quiero tener un pingüino grande. So now I have some dialogue, and the dialogue is so important because it allows for different forms. And so he says here, I want to have a big penguin. Gina está confundida. Carrie ya tiene pingüinos. Gina le responde, Carrie, ya tienes 3 pingüinos. In this way, she's responding back to him, you already have 3 penguins. This is just part of the ridiculousness here of our story. Sin embargo, however, Carrie quiere tener un pingüino super grande. Now that I have that little introduction, a little difference, I'm ready to start copying the other text here. So I'm going to take all this and just copy it and paste it here at the bottom. And this gives me a lot of the text so I don't have to reinvent everything. And actually, I think it's, I did not realize it was 7. Carrie, you already have 7 penguins. And that just fills in the blank. Here it begins. Yeah, she has 7 penguins, but she doesn't have this one. So that's basic the story here. What I want to do is maybe add a little dialogue between Carrie and Chris Bryant. So here it says Carrie grabs the penguin, but there's a problem. The penguin is of Chris Bryant's penguin, and he's not happy with Carrie. So here I'm going to say, Chris Bryant le dice, hey, yo tengo, and this gives me another I have in a different form, el pingüino. And however, Carrie really wants the big penguin. Carrie le responde, yo quiero tu pingüino. I want your penguin, is what he says to him. So then I have the same ending here. He hits Chris Bryant 3 times. In the end, Carrie is very happy because he has a very big penguin. Yeah, so there you go. I've taken the text. What I usually do then is I expand the first version, make it just real big for my learners. And I just want them to be able to see the whole text on the screen at once. So I'll expand this one a little bit here. And then this one, I'll probably shrink this third version to try to get it to fit on one page, which I might have to work on that a little bit. That might be too small. But there you go. I've taken my version 2, which we did as write and discuss. I made a version 1, real simple, real basic. And then I've made a version 3, a little more complicated with a change of point of view, with some dialogue in there to give me the different forms. And then what I often like to do, I forgot about this, is I like to put a little surprise ending, maybe that we didn't do in class. So we'll say, cuando Carrie entra la casa con el pingüino, Gina decide
cocinar el pingüino. Carrie y Gina cocinan, no, let's just say comen, el pingüino grande. Es deliciosa. Right, okay, there we go. Es deliciosa. And I might just take this one out because I already have it earlier and it doesn't really help to the story. Okay, so there's my 3 versions.
So now I have my text prepared and ready to go for the next day. The next day, we're going to do some pre-activities to get us ready for the reading. Namely, we'll do some TPR. We'll also go through the pictures that we took of the story and talk about those and read the captions for the pictures. And then finally we'll work through the embedded reading, starting with the most simple version, going to the second version that they've already seen in class, so that's not too new, and then finally the last version, which we'll read, and then I'll have them volleyball read, and then take a yes or no quiz on. So you can see this right now.
So here is the story. The first version is the most simplified, basic version we can tell. It says, Carrie quiere tener algo. Will you guys show me algo? What does it mean?
It's like
Something. He wants to have something. This is how we're starting out the story. We haven't even said what he wants yet. We just know he wants to have something.
So I'm in the back of the room with my laser pointer, and I'm just working through the text, the first version, double checking for things that may be new or maybe my learners have forgot if we didn't get a lot of repetitions on it before, and translating any sticky parts or anything that may be confusing. But it's the most simple version, so it goes pretty well. It goes pretty fast.
No quiere tener tacos. Carrie, do you like tacos?
I do.
Okay. In this story, you
today.
don't. Ni quiere tener pizza. What's that ni means? Nor, yeah, nor. Does he want to have pizza? Carrie, you like pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just a bad story. Carrie quiere
At
tener.
this time, he doesn't.
In this story, he doesn't. He just ate both. It was a very interesting dinner. Carrie quiere tener un pingüino. Su esposa Gina no tiene un pingüino. What's su esposa? Yeah, his wife, his spouse. Very good. Gina no tiene un pingüino. What's Gina's problem here? Yeah, she doesn't have a penguin. Now, later on in the story, it turns out she actually has 7, but for now, she doesn't have one. Entonces, which means so, Carrie corre al desierto Sahara y mira un pingüino grande. Very good. Evan, will you scroll down here for us so we can read version 2? Now, version 2 is the one we typed up in class together. It's pretty complicated, but that's all right. We'll go through it again. Hay un hombre inteligente. What kind of a man is he? Intelligent, yeah. Se llama Carrie. What's se llama mean?
His name is.
He's called, literally himself, he calls Carrie. Carrie is de Chillicothe. Now, normally de means of, but in this context, what does de mean? From. Raise your hands if tu eres de Chillicothe.
Here I am working through the second text, and again, just translating things we need to, making sure they understand, but I'm also branching off, okay? So I don't want to just stay with text here. I want to get meaningful information from my learners that maybe has nothing to do with the story, but is going to help us understand the story better by getting repetitions with those verbs. So here I ask about who's from where, and it leads us just a little rabbit trail discussion, and then I bring it back.
Okay, Earl? No.
Well, now, but not originally.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Earl, de donde eras tú?
Pecan.
Oh, Pecan. Okay. Eras de Pecan. Interesante. Muy bien. Carrie tiene, show me tiene. Tiene una esposa bonita. What kind of a wife?
Beautiful.
Pretty, beautiful, yeah. se llama Gina. Un día, Carrie decide que quiere un pingüino. Now, this is a little different than our photo caption, because the photo said he decides, or he decides to run. This one is he decides that. Yeah, it's not what, because it doesn't have an accent mark on there. It just means he decides that. What does he decide that?
He wants.
He wants a penguin, yeah. No quiere un pingüino pequeño, quiere un pingüino grande. Desafortunadamente, Gina no tiene un pingüino grande. Gina tiene 7 pingüinos pequeños. So what does Gina have?
7.
Gina, where do you keep them 7 small penguins?
It's a secret. I can't tell. You might come steal them.
Have fun with it, and take a second just to find out some other crazy details from the story that we never actually established, but it turns out Gina has 7 small penguins, and we want to know where does she keep them. And yeah, just have some fun there.
Because Liz breaks into people's houses to steal
I didn't
things.
break into the house, just the backyard.
For tomatoes.
Exactly.
I wouldn't trust her though.
I can't eat a penguin.
Gina tiene 7 pingüinos pequeños, pero no tiene un pingüino grande. Carrie no está contento. Carrie decide correr al desierto Sahara. Corre rápido. En el desierto, Carrie mira, yo me mira, clase. Carrie mira un pingüino muy grande. Es perfecto. Carrie está súper contento. Carrie agarra el pingüino, pero hay un problema. El pingüino es de Chris Bryant. Now this is not from. Earlier day was from. But this one is, the penguin is of Chris Bryant, meaning that it belongs to him. Yeah. Say the penguin is Chris Bryant's with an apostrophe S showing possession. Or you can say the penguin is of Chris Bryant, which is a little bit weird. Y Chris no está contento con Carrie. Chris isn't happy with Carrie. Yeah. I wouldn't be either if some dude was grabbing my penguin. Sin embargo, now we saw this last time. Anybody remember what it means? However, yeah, it's such a great
I also
little.
saw that it says something about nonetheless or something like that. Is that the same thing?
Say again?
Nonetheless.
Nonetheless, yeah, that would work. Nonetheless, sin embargo, yeah, that's good. What's it mean again? However, sin embargo, however, Carrie realmente quiere el pingüino grande. So he really. And mente always equals what usually? Ly, yeah. Carrie agarra el bate de béisbol y pega a Chris 3 bases. En el fin, in the end, Carrie está muy contento porque tiene un pingüino muy grande. Any questions about version 2? Trish, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
All right.
Read it today.
Carissa, would you scroll down so we can read version 3?
Can I ask a vocab question?
Yes.
So realmente, can you use that as like truly? Like when you say like really? Like truly or like a lot?
Yeah, no, that's a different word. They use the word verdad, which is like true. They're like verdad, or sometimes they'll say de veras for that context. Yeah, that's a great
Would you
question.
say like verdadamente?
No. Okay, this is tiny text. Does anybody need to move their chair closer to the board? I tried to get this to fit and it's just really tight.
This is great.
I'm sorry about how tight.
Okay, so now we're just going to work through the final version. Notice how I'm just going to read the stuff that's already been established, but I'm going to slow down and highlight the new information that I included there. So check that out here.
Terrifying.
Okay, yeah.
Dark.
Oh, so some of you guys already read this. All right. Un día, Gina está en su casa mirando la televisión. Now we know mira. Everybody show me mira. But this is different.
It's watching TV.
Yeah, watching. So NDO equals
ING.
ing. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So
Okay.
one day Gina is in her house watching television. Gina, what were you watching?
Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire.
Okay. Soccer fan.
And it's actually a TV show about not
You
about
say it's a
soccer.
Okay, or not.
TV show, yeah.
I like that you have
Soccer, no.
Yeah, one Chicago.
Our sport person.
I'm glad that I'm not the only clueless person in the class.
Got your
In
back.
este momento,
In
in
that
that
moment.
this moment, yeah, in this moment, Carrie entra la casa. What does he do?
Enters
Yeah,
the
he
house.
enters the house. Y le dice. Show me le dice.
And says,
Yes, says. Gina, yo quiero tener un pingüino grande.
Don't want the penguin.
do you want a big penguin, Gina?
What does yo mean?
I
I want to have a big penguin. Gina está confundida.
She's confused.
She's confused. Carrie, ya. Will you guys show me ya? We didn't get enough reps on it. What does it mean? Already. Yeah. Why is she confused?
Because you
already
already
have
have
seven.
penguins.
That's right. They already have 7 penguins. Gina está confundida. Carrie ya tiene pingüinos. He already has penguins. Gina le responde, Carrie, ya tienes 7 pingüinos. A little confusing. Why is there an S on this one? Tienes. Tiene means he has, she has. But what does tienes mean? You have, right? She's talking to him. And she's saying, Carrie, you already have 7 penguins. And now you'll see this S again, right here. She says, ¿Por qué? Which is why or because.
Why?
How do you know?
Question mark.
Yeah,
it's
question
separated.
mark, space between them, accent mark. ¿Por qué quieres? You want tener más penguins. More, yeah, more. Have we seen más before?
Taco Bell.
Vive más. Vive más. Yeah, and I've said it when I'm looking for suggestions. I'll be like, más, 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 más. I want more suggestions, right? I'm greedy that way. Okay. So let's translate her question here. 1, 2, 3. Why do you want to have more penguins? Sin embargo, however, nonetheless, Carrie quiere tener un pingüino super grande. Gina y Carrie ya, what's ya mean? Already, tienen 7 pingüinos pequeños, pero no tienen un pingüino grande. Carrie no está contento. Carrie decide correr al desierto Sahara. Corre rápido. En el desierto, Carrie mira un pingüino muy grande. Es perfecto. Carrie está súper contento. Carrie agarra el pingüino, pero hay un problema. El pingüino es de Chris Bryant y Chris no está contento con Carrie. Chris Bryant le dice, ¡Hey! ¡Yo tengo el pingüino! What did he just yell?
That's mine anyway.
That's the smooth translation. What is
I
he?
have
the penguin.
Yeah, he literally says here, I have the penguin. It would have been made more sense to say, El pingüino es mío, but I didn't want to introduce more vocab. So, instead he's very awkward. I have the penguin! Sin embargo, which means, however, Carrie realmente quiere el pingüino grande. Carrie le responde, yo quiero tu pingüino. Looks him dead in the eye and says, yo quiero tu pingüino. What's tu mean?
Your.
Your. Yeah, your. Now I have 2 here. It means you. What's the difference? No accent, right. No accent mark, it becomes a possessive adjective. Your penguin.
Oh, weird.
Accent mark, it's just you.
Spoken the same?
Yep. No difference the way you speak it. Carrie agarra el bate de béisbol y pega a Chris 3 veces. Cuando, what's cuando mean? When, yeah. Am I asking a question here though?
No.
Cuando Carrie entra la casa con el pingüino, Gina decide cocinar el pingüino.
She decides to cook that big penguin. It's always nice to put in little surprise endings there, just because if you're just reading what you've already done in class, it tends to be a little low interest. So put in a surprise ending and see what happens. It's kind of fun.
Cocina!
What does,
No bueno.
what does Gina decide to do?
Cook it.
Cook the penguin!
Now we know why Carrie doesn't like tacos.
Carrie
With
y
tacos.
Gina comen, yo me comen, comen el pingüino grande, es deliciosa. Interesting.
Chris Bryant was a true hero.
Yeah.
It all turned
They
around.
hated to get rid of the evidence of the assault on Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna pair you up with somebody to volleyball.
Okay, so from there I have them volleyball read version 3, and then we take a quick yes or no quiz on it, and that's the embedded reading. I hope you guys can be successful in doing embedded readings. Really helpful for your learners to scaffold and support a text that you create.